Hey everybody! If you didn't know, May is Physical Fitness Awareness Month, so I thought it would be good to talk about how fitness is measured and how it can be improved, because we all have different opinions and thoughts about what it means to be fit. So I just wanted to clear up the confusion and give you guys a clear-cut definition of what it actually means. Your physical fitness is measured by 6 things. They are resting heart rate, cardio endurance, muscle endurance, muscle strength, flexibility, and body composition. Now, it is possible to measure and assess these different categories on your own, but it is far easier and more accurate to have a professional do it for you, either a doctor, a personal trainer, or physical therapist. If you choose to do these on your own, you should still stop in with your doctor and get cleared for physical activity. Reason number 1, again, they know what to look for. They can tell you what's safe for you to do. If there's any underlying conditions that are going on, they can usually catch that. But also, it's a great resource to pick their brains and get their advice about fitness professionals or types of exercises or dietary changes that you should make. So now that we have all that out of the way, let's get into how to measure and assess these different categories, starting with resting heart rate. Resting heart rate is exactly as it sounds. It is your heart rate while at rest. And this one is by far the simplest thing to measure. The best time to take your pulse for resting heart rate is soon after you wake up. Now, if you have an alarm that jolts you awake, that's gonna elevate your blood pressure, it's gonna elevate your heart rate. So if that's how you wake up, that's perfectly fine. Just wait about 10 minutes for everything to kind of calm back down to the resting level, and then take your pulse. And then if you do that, just anytime you take your pulse to measure your resting heart rate, do it that exact same way. An ideal area to be in is between 60 and 100 beats per minute. That's a healthy zone. Anything above that, it's gonna need some work. Anything below that, you're very fit, to about 40. If you're below 40 beats per minute, then you should seriously go see a doctor. Now, ideally, as you exercise more, you get more fit, your resting heart rate will go down. But if it stays the same or actually goes up, it could be a sign of overtraining, and you need to either tone down the time or intensity of your workouts because you're working too hard and you're totally negating all of the good things about exercise. If you do that and nothing changes, then it is time to go see a doctor. Next, we come to cardio endurance, aka aerobic exercise. Now, this type of exercise uses oxygen as fuel for your muscles and increases your breathing rate and heart rate. Now, this is exercises like running, swimming, hiking, biking. In aerobic exercise, your endurance is determined by how long you can continue the exercise while still maintaining adequate oxygen levels. First step is to determine your maximum heart rate. Your age, minus it by 220. And that is your maximum heart rate that you should never go over no matter what you do. After that, you need to determine your training zone. Generally, you want to be between 70 and 80% of that maximum heart rate. Beginner, absolute beginner, 70, intermediate, 75, and advanced, about 80. Now, if you don't feel like doing the math, that's perfectly fine. There is a simpler option, and that's just to see how red-faced you get. Now, I'm not talking about the little redness in the cheeks. Everybody gets that, even hardcore athletes. What I'm talking about is when your entire face goes cherry red. That means no matter what you're doing, you are not getting enough oxygen and you need to tone it back. Now, this is especially important for people who are on medications like beta blockers, because beta blockers will not allow your heart rate to increase. So you might be trying to work towards that target heart rate zone, but you're not going to be able to get there and your face is going to go red. Once you have found your training zone, either through calculations or just the red-facedness, now you need to start systematically increasing the intensity, and that's how you increase your endurance. Now, muscular endurance is defined as any given muscle's ability to either exert force consistently or repetitively over a long period of time. Example being planks or wall sits, where you hold one position for as long as you can, or long distance running, push-ups or sit-ups, where you're doing the same motion over and over again for as long as you can. The endurance is measured by how long you can maintain or repeat that motion. And same thing with cardio endurance, you find where you're at. Let's say a plank. If you can do a plank for 20 seconds, start there, and then slowly increase, I would say by 5-second intervals. You know, 1 week you're doing it for 20 seconds, the next week 25 to 30, and so on and so forth. And that is what will increase your muscular endurance. Muscular strength, aka anaerobic exercise. Now, anaerobic exercise is the amount of force produced by a single maximum effort. Now, this would be things like calisthenics, weightlifting, or resistance training, and your strength is measured by the amount of force you can produce while still maintaining good form. If you choose not to work with a professional, it's perfectly fine. Just do your research and know what is good form, and really watch yourself in a mirror and observe what you're doing to see if you have bad form or if you are maintaining good form. Having flexible muscles is the #1 way to prevent injury, not just in exercise, but also in home and work life. This is because when muscles get overworked and not stretched, they get tight and short and can actually pull on the tendons surrounding joints and pull them out of alignment. There is risk for injury when stretching. Mainly, you can literally rip your muscles. Easiest way is to be able to breathe and talk normally throughout the stretch. If you feel a stinging, tearing, or ripping sensation in your muscles, you're pulling too hard and you need to come back a little bit. But again, systematically increasing the stretch or the duration of the stretch will improve your flexibility. The final category for your overall health and fitness is body composition. Now, your body is composed of muscle, fat, bone, and water. And there are certain ratios of each of these that are a healthy zone and some that are an unhealthy zone. This is just a measure of where you're at, in the same way that resting heart rate is a measure of where you're at. If you are doing things to improve your cardio endurance, your muscular endurance, your muscular strength and flexibility, you should see a difference in your resting heart rate and your body composition. And that's all for this video, guys. I hope this information is helpful to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And good luck reaching your fitness goals.